So, good evening one more time, everybody. I want to sincerely appreciate everybody for coming for this program. This is the program I'll be advertising on Facebook, and thank you for being part. My name is actually Godspar Ejakedi, and I'm a forex trader to the glory of God. I'm a life coach, and a whole lot of people have graduated from this academy. We've been into this for long. What's the aim? The aim is just to introduce the financial market to everyone. Whether you have little idea or you have no idea, you don't have a problem. Because I'm going to start exactly from the scratch. I'm going to start from the bottom, which is forex trading. So just put your mind at rest. I can assure you, if you are consistent with this training, you will get everything you need to know. Thank you so much. So let's start. So what exactly do we have to do for today? Let's see what we have for today's class. Let's see what we have for today's class. All right. I'm sure everybody can see my screen. Yes, I'm sure you all can see my screen. Today, we'll start with the introduction to what forex trading. We'll now dive into exchange rates. We go into fundamental analysis. We go into technical analysis. Now, what I'll be doing today will just be a theory aspect of forex trading. I will talk about some things about it, how not to be greedy in the market, and all of that. Now, for tomorrow's class, please don't even miss tomorrow's class for anything, because tomorrow's class is very essential. Tomorrow's class, we'll talk about pips. We'll dive into lots. We'll look into leverage. We'll look into brokers. We look into platforms and charting softwares. We look into types of traders. We now talk about technical analysis. For Wednesday's class, you know, from tomorrow's class, I'll be showing you some calculations on how to make your calculations on pips, leverage, lot size, we do all those things. But for day 3, which is on Wednesday, I'll be using a participant's phone to do some further analysis. I'll teach you how to open trades, how to modify your trades, to add your stop loss and your take profit. Don't worry, I'll talk about these things. Don't get confused. I will show you some other things. You see all these things you see on the screen? Partial closing, trade stopping, swing trading, and we explain everything on Wednesday. Now, on Thursday, which is the last day, I will teach you how to manage your trade. Actually, trade management starts from day 3. So I'll be talking about my FX book. We'll look into investing.com. We'll talk about Forex Factory. We'll now look into Trading View. Please don't get confused, because I tried my best to do something. For everybody that is going to attend this class, number 1, I will give you the PDF to always read. Aside PDF, I'm recording this class right now. So I'll drop a recorded version of this class on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I will drop it, and then I'll drop this same link. You know, right now I'm recording this. And once I get the link from my YouTube channel, I'll drop it onto the WhatsApp platform so that you can always watch. You can always have it. You get that? You see, I'll be very candid with you, class. Some of these materials you see, I sell them online. I run advert for that, for those that want to buy these materials. But for you being here, you are having these materials for free. You're having these videos for free. And in fact, you're having these lectures for free. So we are going to commence now. We're really going to start here. Welcome one more time. Now, what exactly are we going to do today? We are going to look into Forex. Yes, I agree. I'm going to give these materials, but there are some things I just need to point out from this class. We are going to look at what's Forex. Forex is foreign exchange, and it's simply the largest financial market where currencies are bought, sold, and exchanged for one another. Unlike, for example, the stock market. The stock market has no centralized exchange, and transactions are performed over the counter. Participants trade with worldwide network of banks, brokers, and other financial institutes. Now, class, if you look at my screen, if you check the second paragraph, you observe that you see something like $5 trillion. Class, the truth about it is, Forex is simply the largest financial market where you can buy currencies, you can sell currencies, and you can exchange them for one another. Are you with me? And This is done through a worldwide network of banks. When we are talking about banks, we are looking into central bank, commercial banks. We are now going to look into financial institutes. Then we are still going to, brokers are also part of this. Are you with me? Now, if you look at my next paragraph, the amount that is dropped daily, you can go and make your research. The amount that is dropped daily for traders to benefit every day is actually $5 to $5.2 trillion. Are you with me? $5 to $5.2 trillion is dropped daily in the forex market for you and I to profit from. For instance, Mr. Divine might profit $10 in the market. Like, for instance, now to glory of God, I know how much I actually got in the market today. Are you with me? And you can decide to profit. Your target can be $20, your target can be $50, target can be $5. So, but $5 trillion is what is dropped in the market daily. Now, the forex market is traded 245. You know, for Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually runs from Mondays to Sundays. Are you with me? But for the financial institute, it actually goes from Mondays to Friday. Are you with me? So it is traded from Monday to Friday. As a matter of fact, the financial market closes 10 p.m. on Friday and it opens 10 p.m. on Sunday. Are you with me? Now, what sections are we looking at that actually trade this business? We are looking at the Asia section, the European, and the America section. Are you with me? So these are the sections that actually deal in this. And what time zone or are we looking at? We are going to look at the time zones across London, New York, Tokyo, Zurich, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, Singapore, Paris, Sydney, of course, London, GBP, New York, USD, Tokyo, JPY, Zurich, Swiss franc, Frankfurt, Europe, then Hong Kong, JPY, Singapore, they spend Singaporean dollar, Paris, then so on and so forth, Sydney. We have a whole lot of them. Currency pairs, are you with me, that we actually deal in? Because so many people call me and ask me, okay, what are we doing exactly in Forex? We are actually buying currency pairs and we are selling currency pairs. That's exactly what we do in this business. Are you with me? You know, for Bitcoin, Bitcoin, what those ones they actually do is you can buy and sell and you can trade Bitcoin. Let me tell you one big advantage about this training you are having tonight, or this training you'll be having for a period of time. If you know how to tackle the technical analysis of Forex trading, Bitcoin will never be a problem to you. I know so many Bitcoin traders or people that actually they have Bitcoin that they will chat me that, Mr. Joshua, please, I need you to teach me the technical analysis in Bitcoin. You see all the moving average, blah, blah, blah. I will teach you later. Is exactly what they do or what they use to trade in Bitcoin. Are you with me? So this class, truly, it is good as you are here. Now, what exactly do you do in this business? You buy and you sell. If you look at the green animal is the bull. If you look at the other animal, which is white, the white animal is the bear. You buy and you sell currency pairs. That is exactly what you do, nothing more. You cannot, you know, like fiat currencies. Fiat currencies are Naira, US dollar, Europe, pounds, Europe, and all of that. With Swiss franc, we don't need all of that. We are actually buying and selling currency pairs electronically using a platform called MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. Are you with me? So that's that. Now, who trades Forex? Have you asked yourself this question? I used to remember when I was a newbie in this business, I would sit down and ask myself that, who trades Forex? The commercial bank, the first body that is in charge of Forex trading is actually the central bank. And what central bank are we looking at? European Central Bank, Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of England, Bank of Canada, Bank of America, Bank of Japan. Are you with me? All these bodies. Please, if you please, can you please mute yourself, please? Don't worry. When it's time for questions, I will permit you. All these central banks, they are the major body that trades Forex. That is why for we traders, when we notice a big move in the Forex market, we simply tell ourselves that, wow, the big guns, they are in the market. I just remember my boss, my mentor would tell me the big guns are in the market. I wonder. I never knew he's trying to talk about all these big bodies, the banks. They have come there, they have made a big deposit, or they have made a withdrawal. Just imagine I want to buy spare parts. Let's say I'm the owner of Toyota Elizabeth, and I want to buy spare parts in Japan. Of course, for those that use Toyota cars, you know that of course, Japanese the part from Japan seems to be very, very authentic. Now, let's say I get those parts, and eventually I go to Japan. You agree with me that I have to convert my naira to yen. In Japan, they spend yen. China, they spend yuan. I have to convert my naira to yen. Then I'll take it to that country and deposit. Once I make that, let's say I'm depositing 2 billion yen. Their bank will feel it. That no, something has been dropped in this place. So that's a big drive in the what? In the forex market. Now, the next bank or the next body that are like subordinates, like that are like assistants to these central banks are commercial banks. And these commercial banks are EcoBank, Keystone Bank, Polaris Bank. That you see, there is no bank that does not trade forex. Go and make your research. We have bodies. Like for instance, now God helping you. That's that's anybody's prayer here. God helping you and I, we are so unique. By grace of God, we are unique. And in this business, they notice it that okay, Madam Gillian is very good in this business. I can assure you that banks or other big financial institutes will search for you. Even at this point, by the grace of God, I know of some financial institutes that presently want me to come over to their states. Let's discuss based on trading for their firm. Are you with me? So there's a way you'll be so known, you'll be good in this business, you trade for companies. Are you with me? So that's where multinational corporation comes in. Multinational corporations, there are some of these firms you see that will tell you that, Mr. Kayode, bring 500,000 naira. We help you trade with this money. Every month we give you 30%. These firms, they actually what? They actually get people and trade for them. Are you with me? So all this is exactly what makes forex. Are you with me? You have the central banks, the commercial banks, you have the multinational corporations. Then the last body is simply what? The individual investors. Who are the individual investors? The individual investors are also the retail traders. They are actually you and I. That's how much do we have in our forex account? I know God will see push us to that point, but the truth is, how much do I even have in my forex account that can be up to what all these big bodies they trade with? Are you with me? When you see banks, they sponsor events. I agree. If banks should take 150 from everybody's pocket, it's a big money. Imagine we are 1 million in Nigeria, they take 150. That's 150 million. That's large. But should I tell you that apart from those things, those other money you see they collect, they also trade with our money. They do business with our money. Are you with me? That's why I've even adopted something now. I prefer to drop my money right now in the forex account. It's even like I'm doing Bitcoin. Because I remember there are some amounts I dropped into my forex account last year. As at that time, it was probably like 390 naira to $1. Right now, do you know what it means to withdraw from your forex account? For you to withdraw from your forex account as I speak to you, it's 505 naira. Go and make your research. I think I'm lying. After all, I helped some people place withdrawals today on their account. It's 505 naira. You can see that increment. So if you are withdrawing $1,000, when you deposited $1,000 with $390 last year, and I don't think dollar was even up to 390 as at that coronavirus period. Imagine right now you are withdrawing $505. That means you have probably made an extra. Please, everyone, can you please mute yourself, please, so that we can understand ourselves. That means from last setting now, you have on your investments, you have made 120,000 naira as profits. I prefer to drop my money in my forex account and know, okay, it is there, it is appreciated. The dollar is skyrocketing seriously. So that is that. Individual investors, like I said, they can only access this account or this financial market through a platform called MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. I'll talk about MetaTrader 4 and 5 in day 3. Now, I have to go online and make research. I got a flow chart. I'll make this thing so clear to you. If you look at that flow chart, you will see that the central banks are in the middle. The major banks are around the central banks. And the market makers, which are the brokers, are actually the ECM brokers. So if you look at my screen, you see that to your right, you see ECM brokers. They are linked with the major bank. The major bank are the Keystone Bank, Citrus Bank, GT Bank. Now, those banks connect to the central bank. The central banks are Bank of America, Bank of Japan, Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of European Central Banks. All these banks, they actually link themselves together. If you look at, for those that, if you look at all these are flow charts, and these are flow lines connecting these charts together. So the next one I would like to talk about, is base currency and float currency. The next one I would like to talk about is base currency and what? Float currency. Now, base currency is actually the base currency is the first listed currency pair, and it is called the base currency. And the second listed currency pair is called the float currency. Now, let's just do something. Now, if you look at my screen, you see something like Euro versus USD. It's just like when you say a pair of staples. A pair of staples is a combination of two, left and right. Now, when you say currency is just like a fiat a country spends. A fiat is notes, coins, which is accepted maybe in ShopRite, in Just Right, in malls, and you can use to make some normal exchange. Those are fiat. Now, when you now say currency pair is a combination of two, your base currency and your float currency. Now, the first listed currency of a currency pair is the base currency, and that base currency is what they call the euro. The second currency, which is USD, is the float currency. Let me repeat myself again. For Euro USD, the base currency is euro, and for the float currency is USD. If you look at my screen, the second one is GBP AUD. GBP AUD, the base currency is GBP, and the float currency is what? AUD. Now, I need everybody to use the screen. For XAU USD, who can tell me the base currency and the float currency? I've given you two examples. So for the last one, what is XAU USD? Now, before I even allow you to start dropping your messages, okay, Mr. Kayode, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
The base currency XAU.
Yes, sir.
While the float currency is USD.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. The man got it perfectly. The base currency is XAU, and the float currency is USD. Class XAU, you know, in chemistry, the symbol of gold is AU. Actually, class, there are three metals that are traded in Forex. There are three, from my own research, there are three major metals that are traded in Forex. The metals are gold, followed by silver, followed by, I think, polonium. There's one symbol, there's one metal like that in chemistry. Is it polonium or so, something of such? That one is also traded in Forex. But the major metals that are majorly traded that have high volatility and their impact is great in the market is gold and silver. You know, the symbol for gold is AU, and the symbol for silver is AG. So that's why you have XAU. XAU. So AU is the symbol of what? Gold. So thank you so much, Mr. Kayode, one more time. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. So that is that. Now, let's quickly go to exchange rates. Exchange rate is the rate at which one country's currency will be exchanged for another. It is also regarded as the value of one country's currency in relation to another currency. One believes that one currency will rise against another currency. We buy the strong currency and we sell the weak currency. Like I said, class, I'll still give you this PDF. And please, class, I will be dropping this record. I'm recording this class. I'll drop the recorded version on my YouTube channel. Please, after watching this video, please support our ministry. I am begging you. I am kneeling down. Support our ministry by subscribing to that link, to that channel. Support our ministry, please. Apart from you supporting my ministry by subscribing to that channel, the truth about it is, apart from this beginners class, I always, sometimes it can just come into me to drop a unique video to my participants. I can just drop a video to my participant that could be helpful. Like the last time I dropped a video, go and check my YouTube link. And that video got a whole lot of views because that video was useful to my participants. I dropped something about NFP, non-farm payroll. For those of you who are trading already, you know what NFP means. I dropped until now, I still get views on it. So please, when you subscribe to that channel, sometimes funny videos I drop doesn't even relate to what I do here. I could just want to help. Maybe I've made the research, seen something new. I just want to drop it. So please subscribe to that channel. You can share to your friends. Click on the notification bell so that you always get updates on new videos. So now for exchange rate, let's quickly go on to that. Now, you know what? I think I'll just do a short experiment here. Let's go to my board. If you view my board very well, let's say I have a currency pair. You know, we talk about currency pair. And the currency pair is EURGBP. Let's say the currency pair is EURGBP. EURGBP is Euro versus Great Britain pounds. You know, in countries like Germany, Spain, blah blah blah, they spend euro, right? And in London, UK, not even London particularly, UK, they spend Great Britain pounds. That's Great Britain pounds, and what seems to be like kobo to them is pence. Let's say the exchange rate for EURGBP, please, I'm assuming class room. To make your research is not that. The exchange rate for EURGBP is probably 0. something. I'm just assuming based on my example here. Let's say I have EURGBP. And let's say the exchange rate for EURGBP, let's say euro to naira was 400. Let's say Mr. Kayode calls me that, Mr. Gospower, what's the exchange rate for EURGBP? I'll tell you that, Mr. Kayode, euro is 400, GBP is 600. Please, class, these values are not accurate values. They are approximated values, please. Now, zeros cancel zeros. 2 year 2, 2 year 3. Of course, 2 divided by 3 will give you what? 0.667. Let's say that's my exchange rate, 0.667. Now, class, what if Mr. Kayode now calls it that, Mr. Gospower, yesterday euro was 400. Today, euro has increased to 500. What should I do? I'll say, Mr. Kayode, okay, let me check the market. That's 500 divided by 600. Remember, euro only increased from 400 to 500. Please, class, I want to say something. You see the animals you saw previously that were facing themselves. It means that if one currency pair is buying, it means that if one currency is buying, the other currency is selling. But for tonight, I'm only capitalizing on euro. Normally, if euro should increase to 500, it is expected that GBP will be reducing, but that's not my focus tonight. I just want to say something about buy and selling. Do you agree with me that 500 divided by 600, do your mathematics, 500 divided by 600 is 0.8332. That's 0.8332. Now, class, if you observe, there have been an increment from 0.667 to 0.8333. So that means if Mr. Kayode comes down, Mr. Gospower, euro has increased from 400 to 500. What is Mr. Kayode supposed to do? Mr. Kayode is supposed to buy. He's supposed to what? Buy that currency pair. Because on the chart is actually going upwards. That's what it means. It means that euro is increasing. He's supposed to buy that currency pair. So Mr. Kayode will come here, he will enter this market as a buy. What if, let me see, let's not look at it. What if Mr. Odebode, what if Mr. Marvelous, Osalume say, Mr. Marvelous, I laughed for a reason. What if Mr. Marvelous now comes in that, Mr. Gospower, euro has dropped in the market and euro has dropped to what, 300? I'll say Mr. Marvelous, since it's now 300 to 600. What are we supposed to do, Mr. Gospower? I'll say, since euro has dropped, remember it's increased, euro will what? We are going to sell this currency pair. I repeat, we are going to what? Sell this currency pair because the currency pair as the euro parallelly has dropped. So do your mathematics. 300 divided by 600 will be what? 0.533. Sorry, 0.5000. So if you have 0.5000, so it means that it's the EURGBP has dropped to 0.5. So in this case, what do? You sell. Now, some people will be wondering, does this also relate to Bitcoin? Let me say some things about Bitcoin. One, make your research very well. If you have Bitcoin account, there are three things you can do. There are many things you can do. Number one, you can buy, you can sell. You can trade. That's three. You can also use Bitcoin to purchase items in so many stores. I don't know. There are so many things you can do. I used to hear of a gift Bitcoin, blah, 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 and the rest. You can do pair-to-pair. Do you agree with me that when Bitcoin, right now, Bitcoin is high? I think as of today, I checked, it's about $60,000, blah, blah, blah. When Bitcoin is high, do you agree with me that it is, except for somebody who has a spare cash, it is not so right to buy now because the value is already high. If it was when Bitcoin was something around $14,000 at this thing, sometime around this year, that's when people pumped into the market. Now, class, somebody who bought Bitcoin as at $14,000, and now it is now $64,000. You can see that there's a profit of 400%. If at all I buy Bitcoin now, for instance, it's because I probably want to trade. You know, I just want to fix it. I want to trade. I want to see what the market looks like. Are you with me? For instance, I'm just giving an instance. So that is that. So that is not the case for Forex. For Forex, whenever the base currency increases, it is an indication to what to buy. Mind you, as the base currency is increasing, the quote currency is reducing, vice versa. For itself, whenever the base currency is reducing, the other currency, which is the quote currency, will be what? Will be increased. I didn't just want to talk about the 600. I just want to use this for buy and sell. We'll talk about that in subsequent classes, I promise you. So that is that class. Let me now look at my next phase. The next phase for today's class is fundamental and technical analysis. Now, fundamental analysis is a way of looking at the forex market by analyzing economic, social, and political forces that may affect currency prices. Now, let me say something. Last year, coronavirus dropped the world. Importation was down. Teaching job was down. Many jobs were down. Although I know about some jobs that they permitted their workers to come and stay in the firm and they will pay them for that service. Some could not say, some left. But guess what? Forex traders were still cashing out last year. Because even when the market, the coronavirus has affected everything, it is still in your own way to use your indicators to predict whether you can buy and sell in the market. Are you with me? And should I tell you the beauty about this business? You can cash out anytime you want. For instance, a friend of mine chatted with Mr. James. He said, Mr. Goswell, please, I want to withdraw from my Forex account. The man sent his details to me that I should help him go into his dashboard and withdraw. I told the man, asked, when is this cash going to come in? I said, Mr. James, this cash will come in latest in the afternoon. If I'm lying, God is watching me. I can't be showing you charts. God is watching me. This man sent me a message, Mr. Goswell, thank you very much. I got my money. The man was delighted because he needed that cash. I need me. If I placed the withdrawal for that man as a 5 a.m. this morning, he got the money. So it's not like MMM drinkers that you go and fix your money and maybe probably you're not going to get your money. No. Put your mind at rest. Forex is not a scam. It's something I can tell you boldly. I deal in this, so I know what I'm talking about. Are you with me? So getting your money is not a problem. But guess what? You have to know the right brokers to dwell in. You have to use the right brokers so that you enjoy your service very well. And I'll teach you that tomorrow. So like I said, this fundamental analysis is just a way of looking at the market. Economic is just when Joe Biden and Trump earlier this year, they were trying to contest, it affected the market. All those things, political forces rather, those things, they affect the market. That's why I will teach you how to news trade. I promise you that I will teach you that. I will explain that to you in my subsequent classes. So all that is fundamental analysis, looking at the market, trying to make analysis, seeing whether you should go into the market as a buy or as a sell. Now, The next one is technical analysis. Technical analysis is the study of price patterns on a particular asset. There are many ways to identify the pattern in the market, but people use tools. This is where the work will start. Don't worry, put your mind at rest. There are so many females I know. They will tell me that, Mr. Joshua, I don't like Forex. It has a whole lot of mathematics. You know me, I don't like maths. It has graph. When I see the graph, I get confused. Put your mind at rest, my dear sister. See, those things you hear people telling you, see, it's very simple. This technical analysis you see is just using charts. Using a chart and use some set of tools to predict. Should I enter the market as a buyer? I do this every day. If I show you my trading view, you will see the last analysis I made using support and resistance, using Bollinger Bands, using moving average or MACD. These are technical analysis. Are you with me? So just put your mind at rest. I would explain that as far as you are what? Consistent. So a technical analyst simply uses tools to predict the market. Don't worry. You see all these ones you see open, close, high, low, blah, blah, blah. Those are candlestick patterns. And there are things I will explain in subsequent classes. So class, thank you very much. Is there any question for me before we go? Do you have any question for me before you go? You can drop your questions. Your questions can start rolling in. Questions can start rolling in. Okay. Now, I just want to, while the question is coming in, I want you to use the chat box. If you know you understood today's class, can you just type 2 in the chat box? I understand today's class. Can you just type 2 in the chat box? Oh. Thank you, Mr. Philip, Mr. Kayode, you are blessed, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. The 2 seems to be flowing. Thank you, Mr. Nathaniel Isse. Thank you. I appreciate that. Madam Gillian, thank you so much. Thank you. That shows that truly you understand what you've done in today's class. Please, class. Today's class was just like, I just came here to read the material for you. Although, thank God I had to read out the material and I had to explain some things. Now, tomorrow's class is very important. Tomorrow's class, I'll be showing you some little things to do when it comes to calculation of pips, knowing the right leverage to use and the right lot size to use, and how to calculate your lot size. I will do all of this tomorrow. So thank you very much, everybody. I sincerely appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please support my ministry and also support your ministry. When you subscribe to that channel, you will definitely get updates on videos. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Good night, Mr. Kayode. Good night, Mr. Odebode. Good night, Mr. iPhone. I'm sorry. Good night, Madam Gillian. Good night, Mr. Felix. Good night, Madam Deborah. Good night. Even good night to those that were not able to meet up because of time. Don't worry, those that didn't meet up because of time, you can definitely watch the recorded version. God bless you. I promise you, I will send you this video tonight before 10 p.m. You can rewatch, and I will send you the PDF before 10 p.m. Good night, and God bless you. Bye. See you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you so much, Mr. Kayode. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Madam.